Fans of the Horus Heresy, the RH-1N0 Armoured Troop Transporter, and parts to customise your grimdark vehicles, thank you very much for joining me for a review video. And we're going to be looking at the Rhino Upgrade Conversion kit that I bought from Zinge Industries, and as you can see, I have fitted it to my Deimos pattern Rhino, a kit from Forge World. I'm glad you enjoyed the original video unboxing the kit, and I hope you found an interesting kit to become aware of. I put it together, as I say. What I'd just like to do is show you around the finished model, and then I'll just give you a few thoughts on the quality having assembled it, tips on construction, and then just generally, have a bit of a look. So, right, here's a tank. Just to refresh our memories as to what we're looking at here. The conversion upgrade kit includes 4 resin components for grab handles, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2 lengths of plastic rod. I think it's 2.5mm, not 2 or 3mm, as I wasn't sure when I did the unboxing video. It's 2.5mm. We are also looking at the storage boxes and the blanking plates. And then finally, these rather handsome looking banners. And finally, 2 finals if I'm allowed, we have some grab handles that I've mounted on the upper crew hatch of this Rhino. Well, what do I think? Well, I think it looks really good. And it suits a Rhino model absolutely perfectly. It's a more robust design than the Rogue Trader original, which is a good thing because they were quite flimsy. The styling very much fits with the rest of this modern Forge World upgrade kit for the Rhino. Yeah, really good. Grab handles, they look neat as well. And then those flags as well. The pannier boxes, yeah, they are well sized and fit just right, I think, on the place they're supposed to go. The blanking plates fit fine. Yeah, that's all good. And then finally we've got these flags, and I think they're really handsome. I think they look really good. Give the vehicle a feeling of some motion as if it's advancing forward, maybe at advance or even cruise speed. And then the flapping in the wind. Now, the flappiness I'll come back to in a moment. So, overall, finished result, I think it looks absolutely ace. Brilliant. 10 out of 10 to Zinge for coming up with such a simple but useful kit, and then producing it really nice as well. Just a quick comment on the cost, because I kind of got a little bit confused when I talked about this. I did have some comments to the original video, but just to clarify, the upgrade kit is £6, and for that you get the grab rails, the pannier boxes and the flags. For an additional £2 you can have a set of grab handles added in, and if you look at my original video you probably get, I think you get about a dozen or maybe a few more of handles of various sizes. So yeah, it's £6 or £8. I think for probably for most people it'd be the £6 option you'll be looking at, but I guess spending that extra £2 you could put those grab handles on all sorts. Right, let's talk about the build process. So first thing with the build process, the length to cut these plastic rods to. I cut mine to 33mm. I cut them the same length for each side, if I remember rightly. Yes, I did. Yeah, 33mm. And you can see the spacings on the hull that I achieved with the attachments. This one might need a little bit of heat bending, just line it up finally, but yeah, that's fine. When you're positioning these, they are quite tricky to put on, I thought. So you need, obviously you've got to glue at 4 points, and you're using super glue unless you stick your resin models together with epoxy, which is probably a hard proposition in some ways, easier in others. So I did have to be quite careful when I was sticking them on in terms of positioning them, and of course there's no locating points. I did debate about, and I certainly don't think it'd be a stupid idea to put some small locating pins on this if you really wanted. It would add some additional strength as well. I've just stuck them on. I think there's enough strength, but there is a risk of them being broken without a locating pin. So something to think about there. But overall, I think they feel pretty sturdy to me. And I'm not too worried about them breaking. Yeah, so that was good. The pannier boxes, they fit fine, dead easy. Put the blanking plate on, stick the box in place. Again, there's no locating ridges, lugs or pins. You have to do this by eye. Again, that gives you some flexibility as to where you position the boxes. I think I lined them up with this lower gap in the plate. Yeah, but you know, you could vary that according to your particular tastes. Right, the flags. Now, in terms of fixing the flags on, I pinned these because I think they're quite fragile without a pin. First thing I had to do was cut the little detail nub off here and here beneath where the flag mount goes. And if you watch my original video, or if you have a Rhino, you'll be able to see those nubs. I cut them off completely and leveled off the plastic. I then put a 1mm pin about, I don't know, probably about halfway up here, so to about here, and then I drilled it down into the plastic as well, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 3mm, maybe 4mm into the hull. And I pinned it because I think without pinning, those are just going to get broken. With pinning, they're really strong. Once they're in position, I got some freshly boiled hot water, dipped them in, got them mobile, and oh no, sorry, I actually beg your pardon, I bent them before I stuck them on. Yes, I got the pin ready, got the holes ready, and then I heated them. Last of all, I stuck them in place. So yes, that was how I did it. And, you know, these are just like a normal resin. The consistency of Zinge's resin feels quite close to Forge World's. So if you're familiar with heat manipulating Forge World resin, you'll find these quite a similar proposition. Yeah, and your imagination's a limit there in terms of how you can bend them. Yeah, I kind of added a bit of randomness to them just to create the effect that they're blowing as the tank drives forward at speed. Overall, any other general thoughts? I mean, in terms of a cleanup of the parts, there was very little work to do. I did find a couple of little mold seams I had to take off on these resin grab rail parts, but they were fairly minor, and yeah, it didn't take a lot of work to do, so that was fine. The grab handles, this is probably the hardest thing of the kit, was to try locate those. Again, I was doing it by eye. I'm not sure I've got them 100% in the right place, but, well, I think it looks okay. But putting those on when they're super glued is quite tricky. I've not managed to get them quite perfectly straight, but I think they're good enough. Yeah. That's pretty much all to say. I mean, I think overall it is a conversion kit. These are a little bit fiddly, so it's a little bit more complicated work than doing some stuff. But if you're buying and building a vehicle like this anyway, which is a plastic resin hybrid, then putting these things on is is only one of many challenges you're going to have with getting a good fit and finish on a model like this. So yeah, I think the difficulty level of this conversion set is par for the course with what it's going with. There you go. That is my review of the Rhino Upgrade Conversion Kit by Zinge Industries. I hope you found this an interesting overview. As always, do share your comments and observations. I'll be interested to hear those. But other than that, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. I'll speak to you next time, and goodbye.